Okay, great. Welcome back. What we've done this morning is we started off with a bundle of energy, and we challenged you. And the idea is that the first part of the day, you kind of look inside. Who am I, and what am I doing? And then as soon as we've done that, what happens next is we talked about systems, logic, reason. There's my presentation, remember? 100%. And then after you talked about reason, we talked about the need. And we have a deep-seated need. Just the fact that there are less people in this room right now than when we started is a really important thing to notice. Training is not the priority on most people's agenda. But there's a solution. And we've spent years to bring you to the moment we're going to unveil right now. Because what we're going to do is we're going to share with you something that we believe is transformational. It will change the way you do business forever. It is a step forward that will release time back into your hands. It will give you more time to do other things. Because what we're going to do is we're going to share with you what we have discovered can transform your business. So I'd like to introduce a lady who has come all the way from the United States of America through Dubai, and that is Suzanne Blake. Suzanne, come on up.
Thank you, Mark. Am I live? Do you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Great to have you here, Suzanne.
Amazing.
Take us away. Tell us about Done and show people what we've been talking about.
Stealing my thunder off the stage, Mark. Wow, I'm so happy to be here and so thankful to be able to talk to each and every one of you today. I want to start with a little story of how I met Mark. I have two hats, or I have had two hats. One has been the business hat, the Suzanne that went to MBA school. And there's another hat that is Suzanne, the yoga teacher. And in my life, I've always kind of been going back and forth between these two of, yes, I do my business and I work in hospitality, I'm business development manager, I'm a marketing director, and I also teach yoga. And when I met Mark came to Dubai, and I was actually one of his first clients in Dubai with a little restaurant called Kukle, which I'm sure many of you know here. And when I met Mark, for the first time in my life, I was able to put two things together. My love for business, specifically the hospitality industry, and my yoga, which was all about motivating people to have better lives. Yes, yoga is a physical practice, but once you get into your body and you're caring for your body and you feel healthy, you're breathing, then you have a better life. So I was able to take two things that are very important and special to me to put them together, and now I'm here working with Done. So I will start with a little bit about me. Let's see, why is this? There we go. How I got it done. I'm from the US. I have an MBA background, and I grew up in a culture in the US that is very highly focused on human capital development. And I moved over to the Middle East, and I found in Dubai specifically, they're not so focused on human capital development. They're not so focused on training employees. They're more interested in getting people that have a skill set, hiring them, and getting as much out of them as possible, and then moving on. And so when I met Mark and I saw Done, I saw that this is something that does what we do well in the US, which is train and develop our people. How's everybody feeling, by the way? I think we all need to get back up. Back up. Back up, back up, back up. I can't help but do a little yoga. It's in my blood. So everybody, roll your shoulders back. Inhale. Let's go back to our feet. Feel the energy in your feet. Feel it coming from the middle of the earth. Close your eyes if you need to. Sometimes it helps. Feel it there. It's coming up through your legs, up through your lower back, up through your center. Imagine a big ball of fire there in your center. And remember our mantra, I am here to serve. No one can stop me. Remember that. There it is. It's sitting there in the center of you. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. And we're going to do it together this time. 1, 2, 3. I am here to serve. No one can stop me. I think you can do better, and I need to see movements with it. One more time. I am here to serve. No one can stop me. Wonderful. Okay, you can sit back down. Now I have you. Now I can see your eyes. I saw people thinking about what they were going to have for lunch later. We'll get to that. We'll get to lunch. So I have the U.S. background. I came and I've been working for 8 years now in Dubai in the Middle East in food and beverage. I worked with a wonderful cafe chain called Shakespeare & Co., which you may know. I worked with them for 4 years. We started with 5 restaurants, and during the time I was there, we grew to 20. We franchised to Lebanon, Qatar, Oman, Jordan, and the United States. They've since gone to Iraq and Egypt, and I was a very big part of that system that was created that made Shakespeare a success. And then I met the founder, Ziad Kamel of Kukle in Dubai, and he wanted to bring Kukle there. And Ziad is 100% a systems man. And we took the system that is Kukle Beirut, and we implemented it in Dubai. In my experience in hospitality, the one thing that I would say is the biggest issue is service. It seems like we can get food right most of the time, but service, getting a person to come to a table and say the same thing and smile and feel the same way and give that same experience every single time, that's hard. That's difficult because we all live very, very busy, diverse lives. You know, we've got families. One day a waiter may have a death in the family. He still has to come to work. He still has to come and smile and give you that burger with that same intuition, the same energy. So it is very, very difficult to get that right every single time. And the biggest issue in service is consistency. Consistency over and over and over again. So how do we have a human factor but then take out the human factor? We need the human factor because we need to connect with people. At the same time, we need to take out that human margin for error. And this is where systems come in, and I'll tell you a bit more about how Done fits into that. But service is a direct output of training. Consistency in training equals consistency in service. Solution? Well, I discovered one. Get it done. Done is a training solution that creates consistency, exactly what we need in our industry. It allows you to do your training one more time really well and keep it forever. Done. I was a client of Done. I did the leadership program. I did the full management program. I was very lucky to discover this and be able to start a restaurant in Dubai from scratch with this system. And I loved it so much, I went from a client to an ambassador, and I'm now the ambassador of Done in the UAE. And we're still using it in both Kukle and Stereo Arcade, both of our brands. And it looks like we're going to have quite a few more signing on very soon. So in this screenshot, you can see this is my profile within the system. So not only do we do trainings like we're doing here today where we're speaking and talking to people, we have a system that is online. It's a software that you can put all of your training materials into. I'll explain a little bit more about it. One of the most important things on the job is planting seeds for success from day one, building consistency from day one. What's the most important day of work? I think it's the first day of work. On the first day of work, there's a two-way street. That employee is getting an impression of your company. He's getting an impression of who you are and what you do. At the same time, he's impressionable. He's saying, you know, what am I going to learn here? What am I going to do? He's ready to learn. He's got high energy. He is excited about being at work. That is probably the day he is the most excited about work. Wouldn't you agree with that? But what happens on the first day of work? I'm excited, I'm here. I'm like a Labrador Retriever. I have no idea what I'm doing. How many of you have felt like this your first day of work? Let me hear you say, aye. Yes, we've all been there. We've all been there on that first day of work. We really don't know what we're doing, whether that's waiting tables or somewhere in the kitchen or a management position. I think sometimes in management positions it's even more ambiguous about what am I supposed to be doing while I'm here. So I'm going to go over a little bit of the solution that Done offers. And I'm going to specifically focus on the software solution because I think the speaking and the training is rather obvious from what we're doing here. So manage induction. Induction is your first day of work. Induction is your boot camp. It's the day that you come in, you're excited, you've signed your papers. Now, what am I going to do? So what Done does is it simplifies that first day of work. You have on your home screen, welcome to Done, or this is welcome to Done because we're talking about Done. For Kukle, it says welcome to Kukle. For Stereo Arcade, welcome to Stereo Arcade. And you have a message from the owner that tells you about the company. And yes, this is something that you read. And a lot of people don't read well. So we have videos. We have step-by-step videos. And these videos are not filmed by me and Mark. These videos are filmed by the employees of the company. So there's various sections. So what do you need to know the first day of work? You need to know what's the mission, what are the values, how do we do things, who's who do I need to know, who's the marketing director, who's the CEO. These things, nobody knows this on their first day of work. So you get step-by-step videos that tell you all about the company. And the great thing about this system is you get out what you put in. If you want to have an 8-hour training for your employees, so they're busy the whole day going through this program, then you'll have 8 hours of training. If you want 4 hours of training, that's what you'll have because you're creating the videos for your clients. Next. At the end of each session, so it's maybe a 10-minute video or a 30-minute video, there's a quiz that an employee has to pass with a minimum of 70%. You can change the percentages. If you want them to get 100%, then they have to get 100%. But the minimum is 70% that we allow. And then they're quizzed on the information that they just watched. So before they can go to the next module, they have to be able to say, yes, the mission is to make guests fall in love with Kukle. Yes, I know this. Because with a lot of trainings, we don't get quizzed. And then employees they never actually got it. They just nodded and said, yes, yes, or in Dubai, yes, yes. So you do the quiz. The quiz leads you to an exam. So the employees are 100% sure they got this information. You have a training record, which the employee can look at their own training record. At a manager level, they can look at everybody's training records and see where everyone is in this process. This creates consistency for all employees. It also takes out the headache of the first day of work when the manager is too busy to actually give this employee the time that they need. Another thing that Done does is job description. How many of you here have read and know what your job description is currently right now? Yeah, like 4, 5, 6 people? That's very positive. A lot of times a lot of times people have no idea what their job description is. It was a paper that maybe they saw when they first got hired and then they've never seen again. With Done, you have a little button in the screen that you can click on that says view my job description. Every time you log into the system, it's right there, you can see it. The first time you see it as an employee, you click a button, yes, I read this. Whenever you click yes, I read that, it is saved in the system. An email is sent, yes, this employee has read their job description. And this comes in very useful later on when you say, okay, Timmy, you didn't know that you were supposed to clear the tables afterwards? But you read your job description. It's right here. It's in the system. So it takes out a lot of headaches and squabbles later on. We have a template within Done to make this completely easy for you. So if you don't have your job descriptions written, you have a very simple template that says job title, what is it that you do? So you just type in the information and it makes your life a lot more easy. We're all about simplifying things. How can we make this easier? Within Done, you can also manage your sequence of service. In the sequence of service, each step gets a module, so that each step, so pouring the water has a short little video clip. We pour the water from the right side or the left side, or however you do it, how you take off the lid, and that you have a little one-step video. They watch that video, they get quizzed, they move on, so they see every single step. So before they go onto the floor to train physically, because physical training is, of course, a necessity, they go through all of this on the computer screen with your employees guiding them through every step of the process. And you take out the margin for human error because it's the same thing every single time, and you've approved these videos and you know what's in there. Not only that, it manages your standards of procedures. And this is the question everybody's wondering right now. Where's the food? You're not going to get your food yet, no, but you're going to know about the food inside Done. Inside Done, you can upload all of your menus. There's sections for appetizers, mains, desserts, any extra sections you want to add. You can create all of those, and then you can upload each one of your items with a photo of the item. It has the details of what's in it, and it has a description, a product knowledge description. Now, I think this is for your employees. In your menu, of course, you have a description. This description is a description for clients to sell the item to them. Employee may need to know a little bit more about that description, so when a client says, are the sesame seeds toasted or are they in oil? Then they have a broader understanding of what exactly is inside there. You have a part where you can, items that can be added and removed. So if you want to add guacamole, remove guacamole, or whatever goes with that. Here, I guess it's labne. You have a place for tableware, what it's served with, allergens, and you can also view the production. So here you can see this particular menu item has in Thai and English. So if you have bilingual employees, you can put French and English or Arabic and French, whatever it is that serves your purposes. And you can see the production method. So this can be used for the back of house kitchen staff. Maybe before they have time to do the full-on training with the chef, they can read through this. And you'll see at the bottom, there's pictures of each and every step. So you can load in the pictures of, say if it's a sandwich, here's the bun, here's the bread. It's very, very simple to use. Another thing to note about this particular functionality of Done is that you can control the permissions of who's able to see what. So a chef can see the production method and everything, whereas maybe a cook can only see, or whoever it may be, whatever you want them to see, they can see what you want, is the point there. Also, nothing in Done is ever deleted. So if you have an employee that has had a bad day and let's say he just really wants to suck it to the management, and he goes inside and he decides, you know what? I'm just gonna delete all of your recipes. He can go in and he can try to delete them, but in our back end, everything stays there always forever. And we have a double backup, so if anything really goes wrong with the system, we switch it over to another server that is backed up daily. So you will not lose your valuable information. You also cannot, unless you have the permissions, you can print in the system, but unless you have that authority, you can't print. So someone can't come into your restaurant and take all of your menus and your recipes and things that are your intellectual property. Another function is advanced programs. This can be anything you want it to be. Anything that you think I want them to have a training on, how to clean the bathrooms, whatever it may be. I don't know. You can put this into this section of Done. At Done, we have a lot of programs. 7D by7 is one. Mastering Hospitality is one. This is something that we can also help you with and upload into your system. Done certifies employees. I think everyone loves to have a diploma or a certification at every level, whether you're a dishwasher or you're a manager. People like to have a piece of paper that said, I did this. And it's natural, we're kind of oriented to play games and to have achievements. One thing that Done does is make this very easy. whenever an employee finishes a training program, so they've gone through all the videos, they've done all the quizzes, they are automatically taken to an evaluation. And in this evaluation, you can see here on the screen, it's a very simple evaluation. I can do my job, I know how to do it. Very, very simple questions. There's a little bar that they slide. And then they also have a section to put in great ideas and other input that is valuable to the manager and the owner of the company. So they do their evaluation. Automatically, an email is sent to their manager, and the manager says, this employee has done their evaluation, you need to evaluate the employee. So then the manager goes in and they evaluate the employee. As soon as the manager does that, he pushes the button, submit. When that's submitted, this is automatically generated, and this is one that has done on it, but if it was your company, it would have your logo and your brand at the top. This goes to the manager. The general manager or the owner, whoever you have as your designated person, they sign it, and then they can give it to the employee. And there's a great HR function. I'll just touch on it very briefly because it does a lot. It does a lot, and it's always improving. Mark just told me another feature that was going to be added on in the next couple weeks, so there's so much that's always being added. But you have a place to store your mission, vision, and values. I was really surprised at Shakespeare & Co. one day. We had over 1,000 employees at a time, and I was talking to a girl who had been with the company for 10 years, and she had no idea what the vision for the company was. No idea. So this is something I think that it's hugely important for employees to know. Where are we going? I'm on this ship, but where is this ship sailing? So in the HR function, you can add all this information, and then that goes directly to the employees. You can also manage performance. How many times have we had a warning with an employee or a commendation or some sort of counseling session that never got documented? And then when it comes time that an employee has been warned 10, 20, 30 times and it's time to go, we don't have any documentation to back that up. So this makes this a lot simpler. It's just as easy as sending an email. You can do counseling, you can do commendations, and you can do warnings. You click on the button of what you want to do, you type it like an email, and you just send it in, and it goes directly into the employee's file electronically, and you can print out a copy as well and keep physically if you want. So that's a lot of information about done in a short amount of time. We had Roadrunner earlier, we've got Wiley Cody here. Do you need help? We have a help function. And in this help function, you have a how-to guide, you have a user guide on how to implement done, and you have a frequently asked questions. And coming very soon, I think in the next week, there's a 24/7 help desk that will be able to answer any questions you may have live. Currently, there's a phone number, and there's a Skype, and there's email, and I think within the next week or so, this function is also going to be live. So now we go back to our constant and never-ending improvement. Constant and never-ending improvement. This is a change in our industry. Yes, there are other hospitality training softwares. This one has functionality that I don't believe any others have. And it is a change, and it is not necessarily the easiest thing to implement, but I am absolutely certain that it will create growth that is needed within your company. We're back to this. The food is ready. I believe it's in the back or in the room back, right back here. Yeah, so through the doors, straight back, enjoy your dinner. Thank you.